Hi, I'm Danno WitWicky, and I'm gay.
Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. So today, I'm here with Danno WitWicky. Now today we're going to be covering a few controversial topics, as you can tell by the title. So recently in Australia there's been a lot of new laws that have changed, and it's quite important to bring up these topics as there are a lot of people who are going through problems and not understanding, and it's also really important to get a second view, as it's not okay to be ignorant anymore. You know, me personally, I used to be quite ignorant about the situation. But as we mature, as we learn, and as we evolve as a nation, it's so important to be able to understand every point of view. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about Danno's story. Danno, do you want to say hello?
Hi guys, it's me, Danno WitWicky, and thank you for having me on your channel!
Yo, hi. What's going on? As you can tell, I love Danno's personality. He's definitely a person who is bubbly, who is really positive. We're going to be going through a lot of his experiences. Now, as Danno mentioned previously to me, his experiences don't reflect on every single person. Now, this is his... what he's been through. Now we're going to be going through a series of questions. So Danno, we're going to be going straight into it.
Wait, are you going to need some lube? Because I'm not ready for going straight into it. You're going to need to use some lube first, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about going in, so you're going to ease it in, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, so I'm sure a lot of people have Googled this and thought about this, and there are people who are in your situation as well.
Right.
How did you know you were gay?
Well, I think I already knew I was gay at such a young age, but I didn't really get a better understanding of what gay was or what gay meant. So I think growing up as, you know, as a kid, going through a lot of bullying, going through a lot of traumatic experiences, I knew the point where I was gay when I felt that I was at the bottom of my life, but then I found a light at the end of the tunnel, and after that, finding that light, I found a good support, and after being supported by a good friends around me, I was able to find that I wasn't always the person I used to be, but I was always someone better, and that's how I knew I was gay. It wasn't always about liking boys. It was never the fact that it was, you know, having a sexual attraction to boys. Nothing was like that of the sorts. It was just about releasing who I was, expressing who I am as a person, as a human being, as an individual. And then after finding that, I then knew that by releasing who I was as a person, I unlocked so many doors and opportunities that I never knew I always had, and that's how I knew. That's
that's really good to hear. Yeah. You know, definitely understanding and knowing yourself, where you come from, and the things that you've been through. Okay. So when we talk about going through the things that you've been through, what was your parents' take on it? Because it's such a hard thing for a parent to hear, because as mentioned before, you know, times are changing. There is a lot of evolution in the community, and there is a lot of understanding from different perspectives, you know. As I'm pretty sure a lot of medical and science theories have said that when you are gay, you are born gay. Yeah. You know? There is a lot of things that do enforce that. Sorry, not enforce, but support that theory. Now, when you were speaking to your parents, how did that go? What obstacles did you come about? Because opening up to your parents is not an easy thing.
It is not an easy thing, and it's still a hard thing to this day, you know, wanting to really be proud or make your parents proud of who you are as a child, you know. That's what every kid wants. They want to make their parents proud. So it was hard to really tell them something that you know that was not going to make them proud.
Yeah.
That at the end of, you know, being taught what the right thing was from from childhood all the way to growing up, the idealisms of having a family, having a wife, having kids, passing that generation on, it was such a hard thing to go against that because it was the fundamentals of childhood, you know? And I think when I tackled it myself, I really had to sacrifice that pride, my parents' pride, because at the end, I need to think about myself, I need to think about my health, and I need to think about the future, what I was wanting for my future. And how I really went about with it is I had a conversation with my parents. It was Australia Day, and I really need to pick a good time for it. It wasn't just like, okay, I'm waking up and then, hey guys, I'm gay. What's up? What's up? So I really needed to plan it all out so it wouldn't have a massive impact on how they were feeling. But you can never really plan, no matter how much you're trying to choose the best timing or choose the best day or choose the best scenario that you can choose, because you can never really know what's going to happen. So I thought I chose the best day. It was a nice, beautiful day, having a barbecue.
Yeah, it's Australia Day.
Yeah, Australia Day. Yes, everyone's having drinks. A family's over. Everyone's like, "What's up?" I was like, "What's up?" I think after the barbecue, you know, all the family went home, and Mum was happy, Dad was happy. Everyone was just such in a great mood, and we were just, you know, talking about our lives and talking about how far we came as a family, and I felt so happy to, you know, to be in that moment with my family, with my parents. So I privately sat them down. It was just like after a few hours, and I sat them down, we were cleaning everything up, and I just really was like to my mum, I was like, "Hey Mum, you know, I love you, Mum, and thank you so much for doing it, or everything for me to this day. Thank you for bringing me up. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for Dad's support." She's like, "No, you know, you're my son. I love you. I'll always love you, no matter what." And I think that from that line, I was like, "All right, it's time. It's time.
Drop the bombshell.
Drop the bombshell.
Boom.
We need to." We're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then I was like flipping everything. I was like, "It's time to do it." So I was like, "Okay, Mum, I love. I just want to have a mother to son chat. You know, I see my mum as like a big sister. We have such a close relationship with each other."
Yes.
So I sat her down, sat Dad down, and I think there was about a million things that were going on in my head at the time, and even till this day, it's a lot of things that are still like a bit of a blur because it just happened so fast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, all your adrenaline will be kicking in.
Absolutely.
You know? It's just like it's a huge fear. It's just like when you jump into a cold shower, you know that you're dreading it. You don't want to. Yeah, I completely get you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So all this adrenaline was going through me, and I was like, "How am I going to do this? Do I just say it? Do I all these questions?" And then in the space of, it was literally just about a minute of silence, felt like hours. And Mum's looking at me like, "Why are we sitting down?" We're just going to pack everything up. And in the most calm voice that I could do, I was like, "I've got to tell you guys something. And this is very hard for me to do right now. But I really went to the past, because before I did this conversation, I was wearing makeup and in the house and stuff like that. So I really wanted to really tie everything in. And I was like to my mum, "Hey, do you guys notice in the last 6 months, you know, anything different about me? How I'm dressing, how I'm acting, anything different at all?" And being very Asian parents, like, no, nothing's different, you know. And so I was like, okay, well, that's how I can't use that then. Like the makeup, no, nothing. So I was like to them, look, in the last 6 months, I've been, you know, if you haven't been noticing, I've been wearing a lot more makeup than usual. I've been dressing more differently, and my behavior's changed. And I know my behavior's changed because I've unleashed my better self. And they were like, well, we thought it's part of growth, you know. They didn't think anything of it. And then I was just like, look, I know this is going to be hard because it's really hard for me. And I started shaking, very like, you know.
Of course,
and then, I started shaking.
Yes.
And then the parents were like, what's going on? Is there a problem? Is it girl problem? Is it girl problem?
Is that what they actually said?
Is it girl problem?
Oh my goodness, that would have made it so hard for you.
Oh my god, that was even more harder.
Oh my god.
It was more harder.
Yeah.
It's like, is it girl problems, you know? Is it your ex coming back to you? Because if y'all didn't even know me, I used to be straight, hard to believe. I know. But I was like, no, it's nothing like that. And then I was just like, hey, look, over the last 6 months or 6-7 months, I've been acting different, been wearing more makeup, and the reason why is I'm gay. And I think, I didn't even say it that smoothly, it was like, I'm gay.
I know what you're talking about. That stuttering moment when you just like mumble something and you're like, and then it just comes out. It's like, whoa, I did not expect it like that.
Like, we know you're game. You like games. Like, no. Like, I'm gay. And like with me, it wasn't the next probably about 2 minutes were dead silent, and it was the worst, or like the longest 2 minutes of my life, because it felt like a century had gone by. Because
2 minutes can feel like hours when you're in one of those tough situations.
Like you're waiting suspense to know what your parents are going to say, and in that 2 minutes, all I saw was my parents staring at me. Like.
And so moving forward, what was their response after that 2 minutes? Were they?
Mum cracked it. Mum cracked the shits.
All right. Sorry. Continue on, Danno. So how did she crack the shits? How did she go about it? Personally, I've upset my grandma before. She used to chase me around the garden with like a rolling pin and a broom sometimes. What happened?
After the 2 minutes were done, my mum stepped up, dinner plates started flying.
Oh my goodness.
Because we were obviously cleaning up after Australia Day. Dinner plates started flying everywhere. They were hitting walls. It was such... Everything was happening so at once. Mum started crying and screaming. It was just... like... It was so horrible to see my mum that... it was horrible to see my mum like that. Because she was just being very frantic about everything. Dad, he stood up, was trying to calm Mum down rather than getting angry. And I started crying as well because I really I wasn't expecting that. Because, again, you would never know the right time. I thought it was the right time, but obviously it wasn't the right time. But I had to get it done. At that point, I had to get it done. So after Mum was going frantic, just crying, she was like, she just really, really wasn't taking it. I had to leave the house. I had to leave the house because obviously I felt that I wasn't welcomed anymore. And I was crying because the look on my mum's eyes, I could see everything that she had planned since I was a young kid, of this idealism of having an idol family, was out the door in just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, it was all out the door. And then I had to leave. I was just, I couldn't really think what to do next, how to really deal with the situation,
Yeah.
because I never dealt with the situation. Look, you guys probably heard about it everywhere, you know, other gay people telling their stories. You know, you got your positive stories, you got negative stories. I wouldn't say mine will be positive, but it's not really negative as well, because there's other situations, other stories where, you know, people do get abused by their parents. You know, it goes into a more physical aspect, which thankfully wasn't my case. So after that, I had to leave my house, and I had to sleep over at my best friend's house for a couple of days, until my mom actually texted me to come back, and we then had another discussion.
What I'd just like to say here is a massive thanks and props to Danno for coming in. You know, these stories aren't exactly the easiest to share, especially on camera, especially with you guys. Now, the biggest thing is he wants people to understand that it's okay to actually come out. You know, it's okay. These tough discussions do happen, and because he's been able to overcome that one step. I'm not sure, he hasn't said it yet, but he actually faced a severe depression. And because he was able to cross that hurdle, the way he's going now is really good. He's a manager at a high-end bank. Now I won't mention too much about it because that's for him to talk about if he wants to talk about. But all I can say is there's a huge props to Danno, because now he's living a happy life. The way he is, well, if you haven't already, check his YouTube. He is the most positive person. And sometimes they say the people who go through the hardest things come out the most happiest, and they actually enjoy every small little thing because they understand what true depression is at the same time. That's some really good props to you, Danno.
Thank you.
Thank you. So going on to the next series, you were talking about your mum. You sat down and had a discussion with her, and did everything clarify up then, or did it go on from then and prolong? I
think that after we finally had a proper discussion, everyone was calm. The whole summary of this discussion was she wasn't happy. It was all about kids. It was all about grandkids. It was all about passing the generation, which is a common thing, especially for us Asians. You know, our parents have been taught to pass on their genes and so on and so forth. So one of the biggest points that my mum had was like, well, so are you going to have kids? Am I going to be a grandparent? And honestly, I wasn't ready for those questions. I wasn't ready at all. I just wanted my mum just to understand who I am. How you were feeling.
Yeah, how I was...
At that time, you were living in that time.
Exactly.
At that moment.
Exactly.
And you really needed that support and comfort.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I wanted that support from a mum to really know who I am. I'm still her son. I'm still Danno, you know. There's nothing different, and I told that to her. I said, there's nothing different about me. No. I'm still living my life. I have a stable job. I'm doing everything at my peak, my prime. I'm, you know, living my life how I want to live it. You know? There's nothing different. And I told one of my points to her was like, you know, having kids is possible for gays. It's not impossible. There's surrogacy, there's adoption. There's all these options that are available now that weren't available back then. But she didn't want really that. She wanted her own genes to be passed on. But again,
of course, yes.
Technology these days, we can pass our own genes. You don't have to be a man and a woman to have a child. You know, science is always evolving. So from my perspective, I was to my mum, I was like, I'm still the same. If not, I'm better now. You know, I'm much more better.
A better version of yourself.
A better version of myself.
Yes. Okay.
You know? I'm living life how I wanted to live it. And I told her that being gay isn't all about being sexually attracted to another man or the same gender. And I think that was her
mindset and things.
Yes.
It's always about...
To be honest, that is my mindset as well.
Yeah.
Normally when I think of it too.
Yeah.
And coming from an ignorant person like myself, I never really was an advocate for, I didn't really accept them to begin with. But, you know, as we mature, it's so important to understand it. And it's not just a one-sided thing to say that you're going to be sexually attracted. But then again, this is Danno's case, you know, there are other people out there who may live down that path as well. But, you know, from Danno's perspective, it's not just something being attracted to a guy.
Exactly.
And so what are the other things?
Well, when I told my mom, like, being sexually attracted to a guy is just a very small thing, a minor thing about me. The fact that now, being gay to me, I've unleashed a whole creative side to me.
Yeah. I
get to express things that how I feel.
Yeah.
And I get to express them in the way that I want to express them. I don't have any more judgments from other people or be like, oh no, I can't say that because that's too gay.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I can't say that because, oh, what would I think? I say it now with confidence in knowing that I am who I am and I have my own opinions, and I get there's going to be people out there that won't agree with my opinion.
Yo guys, I hope you enjoyed that little clip of the conversation between Danno and I. It is a lot of courage to muster up to be able to do those things, and there is a lot of props to Danno in that perspective. Now, if you guys liked the first part of this series, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. If you'd like to see the second part, also let me know. There's another 20-30 minutes worth of talking and Danno really going out and speaking about his challenges and the hurdles that he's faced and how happy he is now. Just let me know if you liked that, and cheers. Peace out, fam.